Good morning. My name's Allison Murillo. I graduated from Padua Academy in 2014 and started at Delaware Tech in the fall. I'm a bioscience major. I plan to graduate next spring with my associate degree and through a connected degree continue my education at the University of Delaware. Eventually, I want to work in a laboratory and use my degree to advance the medical field. My education path is a result of the emphasis on STEM and is also the result of the opportunity that Seed Scholarship provides. I was a Seed Scholarship recipient. In my second semester, I found it necessary to attend college part-time due to working and taking high-level courses. Therefore, due to life circumstances, I did not meet the Seed requirements to receive the scholarship my second year. I am grateful for having had the Seed Scholarship and recognize its importance in giving Delaware high school students the opportunity to obtain a college education. I have continued to pursue my education at Delaware Tech without Seed, and it has not been easy. I want to thank the legislators who have supported the Seed Scholarship. I think it's important to consider students who must also work to support themselves and therefore must attend college part-time. I am proud to be a Delaware Tech student and thankful to Delaware Tech for providing an affordable, quality education. I want to also thank the Governor, Markell, for his support in the Seed program. From the beginning, Governor Markell made education one of his top priorities. Under his leadership, he has focused on preparing graduates for jobs in Delaware through training and education. And while he continues to implement his vision for education in the state, he has supported Seed every year that he has been Governor of Delaware. I would now like to introduce our Governor, Jack Markell.
Good job. Thank you. Well, thank you, Allison. Great job. Congratulations on all that you are doing. It's wonderful to be here. What a crowd. And I want to start by thanking Mark Brainard, who's doing really an excellent job as the president of Delaware Tech. We're all very fortunate to have him. It's great to be here with Senator Harris McDowell, who I'll be talking about more in a few minutes, as well as Representative David Bentz, Steve Godowski, who is the Secretary of Education in Delaware, and we're joined by a couple of other state legislators, Representative Joe Moreau and Representative Harvey Kenton, and Deb Heffernan, who's a state representative who is the House sponsor of this bill, couldn't be here today, but I appreciate her as well. About 2 months ago, I was in Washington, and I had a chance. There's a senator from the state of Tennessee named Lamar Alexander, who used to be the Secretary of Education nationally, and he also used to be the governor of Tennessee. And he was giving a speech, and he was talking about the fact that Tennessee was the first state to make community college available at no charge to residents of the state. They got this big article a couple of years ago when Tennessee did this. And I was very quiet, and I didn't put my hand up or anything. I waited until he was done because I didn't want to correct him in front of everybody, but I went up to him afterwards and I said, Senator, I just want you to know, we in Delaware last year celebrated our 10th anniversary of the Seed Scholarship, which does exactly what you were talking about in Tennessee. And so I didn't want to, correct you in front of everybody, but just in the future, if you're going to talk about this, you can. It's fine with me if you say Tennessee is number 2, but just remember Delaware is number 1. So we are huge fans of the Seed Scholarship, and we owe, an incredible debt of gratitude to Senator McDowell for really coming up with this idea a long time ago now. And we've had so many Delawareans benefit. I think many of you are in this room. But the idea, in a world where we are so focused on connecting our employers who want to hire people with skills, we want to connect them with the workers with skills. The fact that we have not only an institution here in Delaware Tech, but we have all of, so many participants who are taking advantage of this program and preparing themselves for a great future. And that's really what it's all about. And Delaware Tech, across so many different fields and so many different ways, is leading the charge. I was telling Mark Brainard a few minutes ago, last night I attended a graduation ceremony up in Newcastle County for 50 graduates of something called the Generation Program. And these are young people who a lot of them, frankly, are lost. A lot of them told me last night that they felt like they had been at the bottom, and they got an opportunity to participate in this program. It's a short training program between 5 and 8 weeks. 8 weeks for those who are going to become CNAs, 5 weeks for those who are going to become customer service specialists. And the difference that training makes in their lives and sort of the confidence that they have going forward in terms of having a job is really amazing. And then you take that and put it on steroids with what you have here at Delaware Tech with the SEED program, and it's amazing. And I think this is sort of part of the secret sauce of what we need to do to make sure we put more and more Delawareans to work. And we've had some great success. Our unemployment rate in Delaware is down to 4.6% compared to a national average of 5%. And our job growth in Delaware has been for the last year, the last 2 years, and since 2010, by far the best in the region. No other state comes close, and we're well above the national average as well. And so a lot of great things going on, and I'm absolutely convinced that the work of Delaware Tech is critical to that success, the success we've had and to the success we're going to have going forward. And as excited as we are about the SEED scholarship, it has occurred to us over and over again that there's an improvement that we could make to it. And that improvement has to do with the fact that there are some restrictions on who can access it, and the fact that you've got to be going full-time and I think straight out of school and the like. And the question is, where does that leave some of our students who may have to care for a child or have something else that's interrupting their ability to really go full-time? Shouldn't they be able to access this benefit as well? And we think the answer is yes. And that's really what this announcement today is all about. And so we are going to be introducing a bill that, as you can see here, we've got bipartisan support. You've got right here 2 Democratic legislators and 2 Republican legislators, because when it comes to providing the young people of Delaware with an opportunity to get ahead, that's not a Democratic issue and that's not a Republican issue. That's a Delaware issue. And so that's really what this is all about. And so I am thrilled to be here, really appreciate the support of our Department of Education and Secretary Godowski, and also especially the members of the General Assembly. I do want to give it, I'm going to introduce Mark Brainard in a moment, but I want to give a special shout out. I mentioned him earlier, but Harris McDowell has been around. Harris, how long have you been in office?
As long as Methuselah.
How many years? A lot of years.
I'm in my 40th year.
40 years. 40 years. And when you've been around, go ahead. But I'm not going to ask you, Joe. I know it's not 4. It's 18 years. And so it's one thing to be applauded for longevity, but it's pretty amazing when you've been around for 40 years. You get to work on a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, when you're all done, there are certain things that get attached to your name and certain legacies that you have. And Senator McDowell, I really believe that with all the great work that you've done, this program, this scholarship, may very well be at the top of the list. And I would think that you couldn't ask for something to be more proud of, because just think about all the people whose lives are better off because of the SEED scholarship. So I congratulate you. And with that, it gives me really great pleasure to introduce somebody that we all believe is a phenomenal college president here in Delaware. He is focused every single day, not just on the theory of education, but on how we make sure that those who are coming to Delaware Tech have the best possible chance of ending up with a good job that they can raise a family on. And that's really what it's all about. And Mark brings really great, a great background to it and a real focus, and for that we are most grateful. Mark Brainard.
Thanks so much. Good morning again, everyone, and welcome to the Terry campus of Delaware Tech. We're very, very happy to see such support for the governor's legislation to enhance and improve the SEED scholarship program. Obviously, it's always great to have supporters like Representative Bentz and Representative Kenton and Representative Miro on our campuses. We're very fortunate at Delaware Tech. We have a lot of policymakers who know what we do and how we do it, and they support us. But I have to take another minute to thank Senator McDowell and Governor Markell for being here and their unwavering support for this program. You know, back in 2005, when this legislation passed, Senator McDowell had been working on legislation for free community college for 10 years. 10 years. Our SEED program has been in place 10 years. So Harris worked for as many years to get it done as it's been in place. That is hard work and perseverance and persistence. And for all of you students in the room, and Governor, you can see the room is full of students, persistence and hard work, you have those two traits, that adds up to success. And I want you to know there's a living, breathing example right there at that table. And out of that hard work and persistence, we got the SEED Scholarship Program. So Senator, thank you very much. And and you already know this, but I have to say it again. Literally the day Governor Markell was elected, the nation's economy tanked, and we went into a severe...
Not because I was there.
No. No, the day you were elected, the national downturn threw Delaware into a situation that we had never, ever seen in our history before. But the one thing that remained constant on the governor's priorities, and that was the SEED Scholarship Program. When budget dollars were very, very scarce, Governor Markell fully funded the SEED Scholarship Program. And for all you SEED students, raise your hand if you're in the room, you're on SEED. I just want you to know, thanks to you, thanks to Governor Markell's support, you're all benefiting from this program. So as the legislators in the room will tell you, programs are great, but if they're not funded, they don't have the impact. And what you need is access to these programs. And thanks to these leaders in the room today, we have that. So thank you very much for being here, both of you. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary here at Delaware Tech. And when you think about it, this program has probably been one of, if not the greatest investments, not only in Delaware, but in our economy. First, let me tell you what we know about SEED students. They tend to carry a higher grade point average. They tend to take more credits per semester, and they tend to graduate quicker than non-SEED students in their cohort. So when you think about that and the fact that they're graduating from fields like nursing, allied health, IT, engineering, and education, it's obvious that this program is helping to connect highly skilled Delaware Tech graduates with demands with jobs in high demand fields. I mean, we know that, and those are the programs that we target. When SEED was started over 10 years ago, Senator McDowell and the other advocates of the program, some in this room, they had two very clear goals in mind. Number one was to motivate young students throughout Delaware who might otherwise think that college wasn't an option, primarily because of costs. And the other was to just provide access to a college degree. And obviously those two goals have been achieved. But as we heard a few minutes ago from Allison, and again, as the governor said, great job, Allison, thank you. It can be very difficult to commit to school full-time when so many of our students need to work. Another data point that I can share with you, what we know is that Delaware Tech students tend to work more as a higher percentage than other community college students throughout the country. We also know that you, as Delaware Tech students, tend to work more hours than the national average as well. That's a demand, and that's why this bill is so critical to fulfilling the original intent of the SEED scholarship, and that's to put a college degree within reach of every Delaware high school graduate, including those that have to work and go part-time to Delaware Tech. The example that clearly comes to mind involves students that we visited just yesterday at our Innovation and Technology Center, working on an advanced manufacturing certificate. As you also know, Delaware Tech is partnering with Governor Markell and the Secretary on the Pathways to Prosperity initiative. And this is going to create thousands of opportunities for high school students to get work-based learning while they pursue their high school diploma. So when you think about it, When we talked to these students yesterday, they're going to graduate from high school with a nationally recognized credential in advanced manufacturing. They want to go to work, but they're also graduating with advanced college credit that can be applied to our engineering programs. So they also have an interest in going to college. If these students go off and get a job using that credential, someday they can come back and, as part-time, benefit from the SEED scholarship program. So with all the great work that the governor and his administration is doing on pathways, this is going to be another opportunity for access. And as you all know, when we provide our high school students with an incentive to pursue a Delaware Tech degree, we're also offering them an opportunity to compete in the workforce. And we also offer business and industry in our state access to a high quality workforce as well, and it enhances their competitiveness. This is a win-win-win all around, as most SEED initiatives are. So on behalf of Delaware Tech's Board of Trustees, obviously our faculty, many of whom are here, staff, administrators, but especially our students, as you can see, they are committed as well. Thank you, Governor, and thank you to the policymakers here today for initiating this change to the legislation. We believe it'll be great. Senator, the microphone is now yours. We're very interested in hearing how you're going to lead the charge on this initiative as well. Senator McDowell.
It's a pleasure to be here, and it's really very rewarding for me to see all these young people, both those who came here with SEED and those who found another way to come here, and the future you represent for our state, for our people, for our towns and cities. A lot of what I was going to say has already been said. It was not designed as strictly a scholarship program, but primarily a motivation program. So I'm going to go backward even further, because it was about 24 or 25 years ago when I first read a study that said the majority of students in public high schools in this country have been told by a parent or guardian, don't think about going to college. When the teacher starts talking about going to college, you turn off because we can't afford it. And that's a negative seed that has no business being in a young mind. I said, we have to plant a different crop. And so we did it. And it's true, it took me 10 years of failure, 9 years of failure before the 10th year succeeded. And I have to give a little shout out here in that. At the end of that 9 years, I was getting a little frustrated. And Governor Minner stepped up and said, listen, Harris, I think if you compromise a little bit, we can get this done. I'll help you. Now, I'll tell you a little secret maybe, but your president was then the governor's chief of staff. So he's had a long involvement with this program. I want to make sure that we understand the power of the motivation. If we can take away that negative in young minds and let them see you can have a future. Now, I do want to also mention some numbers as how it's worked. In the 10 years of full operation, about just under, we might as well say 13,000 kids have showed up at Del Tech qualified for SEED. Want to know an interesting thing about that? And the state is prepared to pay for all of those. But about 5,000 of those, the state didn't have to pay a penny because they came from poor backgrounds or whatever. They qualified also for scholarship money that's out there. And with the help of the people at Del Tech, they went out and got that scholarship money, so the state saved its money. We're prepared to pay for everyone that arrives qualified for SEED. So, and we will. We'll find a way, whatever it is, to do that, because you are our future. And leaving kids who have the ability to get a 2.5 in high school and stay off drugs and not have felony convictions, those are the only qualifications. to deny them the path to a future is wrong. And that's why I can fully support these adjustments to this wonderful program, because they will not harm any of its good parts, and it'll open up a little bit wider to other people. And so I'll leave you with my mantra. Remember this, repeat it to everybody you can think. You can say to anyone, or the parents of any kid you know, that kid, you to the kid, you can go to college. It is not a promise, it's the law. We got it passed. Thank you.
So going from, I guess, one of the longest serving legislators in the General Assembly, 40 years, to the newest. Only 39 and a half years to go, and I'll catch up to Senator McDowell. I just want to thank everybody. This is a great turnout. I love coming to events like this at Del Tech. The Stanton campus is in my district up by the Christiana Hospital, so Dr. Brainard invites me to a number of things, and I always like coming. He's doing a great job. I saw this bill. I was very excited to support it. One of the things that I'm very interested in focusing on is making sure college remains accessible for anybody who can and wants to go. For really the first generation ever, the question as to whether college makes sense financially and is a good long-term investment is a serious one that students are asking themselves. And that's really a new phenomenon. And it's folks, this generation of students and my generation of students. I just graduated college about 5 years ago. I finished school. So it's a serious question we have to ask ourselves. And whatever we can do to tip it back the other way, to make it more accessible, is something we should consider, which is why I was so excited to support this bill. The changes it makes to the SEED program are a really much beneficial update to the program, because students don't go to school the same way they used to. We know that students often have to carry jobs to support their families, to support themselves as they go through school. That's a more common phenomenon as well. So if we can embrace those students and make sure that they still have the same access that previous generations did, we really need to make sure we're doing that. And I really think that this will increase the number of students that have access to SEED, that have access to higher education. And as long as we're doing that, I'm fully supportive of all initiatives to do this. So I appreciate the work by Senator McDowell to bring this bill forward, the support from the governor and Secretary Godowski, and of course Dr. Brainard as well, and my colleagues in the General Assembly. I look forward to doing what we can to get this bill passed. Thank you.
We will hear from the Secretary of Education in a minute. Representative Wilson joined us, and at this point, we'd like to ask Representative Kenton, Representative Moreau, or Representative Wilson, would you like to add anything for the students?
Good morning. No, come on, let's go. Good morning. Good morning. That's much better. My name is Joe Moreau, and I'm one of the co-sponsors of this bill. And when Senator McDowell and I were talking in the JSC committee, and he mentioned that we needed to tweak the SEEDS program, I agreed to be part of the tweaking that was necessary. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is really a tremendous benefit to all the students that are in the SEED program, because there are many things that happens in one's life that may interrupt the education process. So by allowing you to continue your education, continue your dreams, so you can achieve that experience and a better job later on in life, this SEED program is being changed to the degree that would allow you to continue your studies so you can have a better life in the future. And remember that education is what opens all the doors in the world. I'm a strong believer that what you can do for yourself can be exceeded when you have an education. I'm coming from an educational background myself after being in the classroom for 31 years at the same school that the governor went to high school. And one of the reasons why he's governor of the state of Delaware is because he graduated from Newark High School. So I want everyone to know that, because not only did he graduate from Newark High School, but his wife also graduated from Newark High School. I did not have the privilege of knowing Mrs. Markell back then, just a few years ago. But really continue to do what you can do, and please do not stop by getting an education at Del Tech. There are other programs and other opportunities that lay ahead of you after you graduate from Del Tech. So congratulations to all of you, the staff, president of Del Tech, who has been doing a great job, and of course, the visionary of all of this is the senator. The senator has been very steady in his approach to education, and I believe that Senator, I was one of the co-sponsors of the original legislation as well. So thank you for being here this morning. It's really a pleasure for me to be here and just have an opportunity to say a couple of words to you.
Dr. Brainard, you never give a microphone or the opportunity to say something to a politician because you know they're going to take you up on it. I'm sitting here thinking during the presentation that in order to go to college, you need to have the ability, the desire, family support, and money. So, and if you're lacking any one of those, you're probably not going to be as successful as you'd like to be. But we're proud not only to have the SEED, Governor, we have the Inspire also. And we're very proud. Every one of us are strong supporters of that. And I've been in General Assembly for a while now, and I did not know what SEED, I knew what the benefits were, but I realized student excellence equals degree. And it makes sense. But I'm proud as a state representative to be a supporter of this. And good luck to every one of you. God bless.
Thank you and good morning. I'm not much of a public speaker. I'm a profession is the auction business, and I'm used to people holding their hands up. So if you hold your hands up, we'll try to hold an auction. But sold. No, but seriously, when I saw this bill, I said, you know, this is something here that I didn't go to college. And I want to tell you, I'm still working hard. So you take advantage of everything that you can do with SEED, because I can tell you the importance of your education and what you are accomplishing. You're to be on, just to be considered that you're interested in a program like this with financial aid that you can take and make out of life whatever you see fit to do. And I just want you all to know that anything that Del Tech does statewide, it's the one college that I can support full-heartedly, because I know that we put people to work right here in our counties. And I appreciate every one of you for being here. Thank you.
Good morning. It's great to see all of you in the room today, and thank you for our elected officials for those remarks. And first, thank you to President Brainard and all the students in here and the staff for hosting us this morning in this wonderful press and important press conference. I especially want to thank Allison for her remarks. She represents all of you in this room and all of you in the Del Tech family. And by the way, what a great institution. You've heard a lot about it, and it is a really important place and makes a difference in your lives and the lives in our community in terms of good jobs after college. I know there are a number of SEED scholarship recipients in the audience this morning. Great that you've taken advantage of this important help towards getting a degree. And I know there's challenges every day in balancing the demands of life, which may include family and other responsibilities, and sometimes life gets in the way of doing things. And that's why this legislation is so important. I'm grateful to the elected officials here today, especially Senator McDowell. You've heard from Representative Benz, as well as Representative Moreau and Kenton, and also Representative Wilson. They are tremendous supporters of education overall, and especially the SEED legislation. You should know that Representative Deborah Heffernan was not able to be here today, but she's also a sponsor of this bill and sends her regrets, and we thank her as well. So how does this SEED legislation work? It's really quite simple. Presently, if you take fewer than 12 credits a semester, and you know 12 credits is full-time status, or less than 24 credits in an academic year, or take a semester off, then you lose your SEED funding. This legislation will change all that and will ensure that if you need to take a fall or semester off or drop to less than 12 credits in a semester, you won't lose that important funding, and it'll give you the opportunity to stay in school, get your education, and get a degree, and that's what's so important. I want to also thank, we have two representatives from the Department of Education here with us today. First, we have Michael Watson, Associate Secretary of Education. Michael, and also I want to thank Shauna Payne over there. Shauna is the Director of Higher Education, and her team have worked really hard every day on college access and college success, and really are doing great work on behalf of all of you and all of us in this state of Delaware. So with the General Assembly's support, we know this will change. We'll get this new legislation and give you an opportunity, again, to fulfill your dream of getting your education and getting that important degree and a great job. Thank you so much. Again, thank everyone.
Again, thank you all for being here. Good luck to you. We look forward to seeing this legislation passed as swiftly as possible, and we invite you back, Governor, if you'd like to sign it right here. Okay, okay, great. Thank you. Good morning.